So, you've recently played the new Plunderstorm event, and this reminded you of a reputation you've slacked off on since Classic. We're talking about Ravenholdt. And at the end of this expansion, we find ourselves with plenty of time and lots of motivation to get it done. But how do I start? Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome to another one of my videos, where today I've made a comprehensive guide on how to farm the reputation of Ravenholdt. Why would anyone want to do this? Well, you've got to be insane to even think about wanting to try. But seriously, it's not that bad. With my help, we can tackle this rep in just a few days of planned effort. What do we need? First, get a rogue! Seriously, the only thing you have to have is a rogue above level 30, or a lot of gold and equally gold-hungry rogue friend you can pay. I have no friends personally, but the internet is a big place, and rogues love money almost as much as they love hentai. If you're broke, don't play rogue, and have no friends, then I recommend you boost one with one of the many free boosts we've been given over the years, or start leveling. Where to start on our journey? Well, it's a classic rep, so we start with a classic mob farm. There's 3 locations you can farm, and I'll go over each with their pros and cons. First is the spot that all of the online guides, including Wowhead or Icy Veins, will tell you to go to, but it's highly competitive and the spawn rate is abysmal. The location is Stromgarde Keep in Old Arathi Highlands. To access it, you must first make your way to Arathi and speak to Zadormi, our cute little bronze dragonflight friend, to return to classic time.
Hello there.
Then head over to the castle and run the route you see before you now. It used to be a very good spot, but with high competition and low spawns, and not including the inability to use your gold standard for extra rep percent, you're gonna have a bad time, and I don't recommend it. Okay. Now, the place I do recommend is a bit tricky, but worth it. First, I kinda have to explain the revolving Warfront mech in BFA. Every 3 days, the modern version of Arathi rotates between a Horde-occupied zone or Alliance. Depending on who currently is in control, will affect where you farm. But in reality, you don't need to know this. All that you need to do is head over to the 2 farms located here in Arathi Highlands, in modern Arathi Highlands, and check which one has the syndicate mobs. These mobs will be max level, BFA, and are slightly harder to kill than the classic versions, but with my farm build, linked in the description below, and current gear, I only need to use my Serpent Sting and wait for the poison to tick once for the mob to die. I love these 2 spots because the spawn rate is so high and condensed enough to be able to use a guild standard infinitely for an extra 50% rep per kill. For some numbers now. The Stromgarde build per route equates to about 150 rep per run of full spawn mobs. The pro to this is you can run a route in maybe 2 minutes. While waiting for the mobs to respawn, you can switch to your rogue and do a single run of pickpocketing before switching back and repeating. This may sound like an effective system, and if it works for you, have fun. I personally love to get things done one at a time, and while being efficient, it can be boring. The farms, however, equate to about 500 rep every 3 minutes, not including being a human or using a Dark Moon Fair buff. Completely repeatable with no interruptions besides your boredom. I finished this part of the grind in 2 separate days with about 5 hours of farm time. I mean, just look at the amount of dead bodies around me. You will know you've finished this part when you get to 11,999 out of 12,000 rep in the honored category for Ravenholdt. You will no longer get any rep from killing mobs and now only have one way of getting it. Turning in a repeatable quest at Ravenholdt Manor in Hillsbrad Foothills with 5 heavy junk boxes. How do I get these boxes? Well, you're definitely going to get a lot of them, and it's time to get on that rogue we talked about. First, park the character you want the rep on here in front of this NPC. Now, if you've played this game at all since BFA, you've earned a toy that lets you summon a mailbox. This will be vital to saving you lots of travel time. If you don't have the toy, you will have to travel to a mailbox. There is not one at the manor. If you want a guide on how to earn any of the mailbox toys, leave a comment below. And while you're there, be sure to like and subscribe, please. Thanks, it helps out a bunch. Now switch to your rogue and head over to Blackrock Mountain. If you're getting this rep on a rogue, I recommend you still send the boxes you collect to an alt for storage and just return the package to your rogue when you are ready to turn them in. The heavy junk boxes do not stack, so using a mailbox is a great way to store infinite amounts at 30 days apiece. Remember, any mail that is left unopened after 30 days will be destroyed, so make sure that you are efficient and quick about sending this to your characters. Once you're in Blackrock Mountain, head into Lower Blackrock Spire. This is just one place you can farm the boxes. A lot of people like going to the Isle of Quel'Danas. Personally, this is the better one, but any level 30 mob has a chance to drop them. I like Lower Blackrock Spire. I think it's efficient and it allows my brain to stay focused. Now, the route that I have made here is hard to draw and describe because LBS is horribly designed. However, enjoy the sped up footage of the route itself while I talk about the benefits of this path. After you've watched it a couple times and just follow along on your own character, you'll have it down pat. First, there is no shortcut to exit the dungeon when you get to the end. If you just run through it, you will either have to kill yourself to respawn at the beginning or backtrack. By jumping off at the start like we do,
aim for the bushes,
and then running from back to front, you will save yourself backtracking time. Plus, you totally look like a gangster. Now all you need to do is get the boxes themselves by pickpocketing every humanoid mob you see. This will be a lot faster if you do everything you can to make you move as fast as possible, such as using sprint in between areas of mobs and making sure that all of your talent choices are effective towards movement speed. I recommend using Shadow Step and other movement abilities like your grapple hook as soon as you can on cooldown to help minimize your runtime. After you get to the final boss, you will backtrack a little bit and jump back down to the ground and run all the way to the front, searching every pocket you can. I don't really know what pocket you are searching for on the ogres, but it's best not to think about it. If you pull aggro, make sure you use Vanish to drop it. Every person you kill is one less to pickpocket later. By the time you finish a run, the mobs you started with can be pickpocketed again, making an infinite loop possible. After each run, you should end up with about 15 to 25 boxes. Oh no! I know, it doesn't seem like a lot, but it stacks up pretty quickly, and you will need about a total of 1,400 to get exalted. Personally, I tackled this slowly over the course of a couple days, running the route to fill up my bags once a day and then sending the boxes over to my main. It was easier this way for me because I got bored running it more than that. Setting myself the goal of filling up my bags each day was satisfying and helped me feel progressive. I achieved exalted after just a couple of days, and you can too. For the numbers, if you get 20 boxes on average a run, with a run time of about 10 minutes, you will get an average of 120 boxes an hour. 1,400 divided by 120 is roughly 11.5 hours. Add the 5 hours it took of game time to get to the revered spot in the first place, and you're looking at about a 17-hour grind. If you're human, you will need less. Another tip to save you some more time is if you send the boxes to your character, keep them in the mailbox until Dark Moon Fair to turn them in when you have the Wii buff for an additional amount of rep percentage. Also, the guild standard does not provide extra rep on turn-ins. Trust me, I tried. Wowhead does have a decent numbers guide to this rep, and I will be posting a link to that below. Happy hunting and good luck. Until next time, play smart, play with your heart, and always be red-nosed. Bye!